Hey guys, how you doing? Right, okay, so it's day one of E3 2011 and I've just watched the Microsoft press conference and I'm going to give my thoughts on that. Oh, where do I start? Right, okay, so first thing they showed was a demo of Modern Warfare 3. Now, as you know, I'm not a massive fan of Modern Warfare or Call of Duty in general. I've kind of really gone off the franchise. I watched the demo and it looked nice, fair enough, I'll give them that. But quite honestly, if you put 2 and 3 side by side, and you ask somebody to tell you which one's which, I don't think they'd know the difference. It looks exactly the same. It's like, obviously got different scenery, different level, but the game is exactly the same, so it's pointless. So that was boring, didn't care about that. Then they showed a Tomb Raider demo for a new Origin story, which I must admit looks absolutely fantastic. And I've really got high hopes. I'm hoping to God they get it really right and they get an absolutely killer Tomb Raider title, because graphically it looked fantastic and I like the kind of direction it seems to be going in. It looks really cool. The voice acting I'm not so keen on. It sounded like Joss Stone, I don't know if it is, but it sounded a bit, it just didn't sound right, it didn't sound authentic to me, but they can work on that, they've got time. They also showed Mass Effect 3, and the really cool thing I thought about that, because I've only played the demo of Mass Effect 2, I've never played Mass Effect 1 and 2 all the way through, which I really need to do, because I thought the demo of number 2 was amazing. But the really cool thing is, with Kinect, you can now do voice commands. And it's such a cool touch. I mean, it's a really simple thing, but I thought it really worked. And it's really nice. Basically, when you're playing Mass Effect and you're talking to a character and you have the options what you want to say at the bottom, instead of actually clicking on them, you just speak what you want to say and you just read it from the screen. And then Shepard will do as he's told, which I thought was a really nice touch. So that's going to be something really cool. And I'd like to see more games innovated that way with Kinect than some of the other games which they showed. There was a game from Crytek, which I can't remember the name of. It's a Roman epic kind of game, which was controller for a Kinect, and it just looks silly because he's like this with the shield and the punching, and it's just like, oh Jesus Christ, not a good thing. They showed a really cool demo for Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which I thought was quite impressive. They had a really cool thing where you can modify your weapons, and you can modify your weapons any way you want, and you've got a really cool feature with Kinect, where he goes up like that, and the gun disassembles all down to little bits, and he puts the gun back together. And it's a really simple tech thing, but I think it looked really cool and it made me go wow. And then they showed him playing the game. Now that, again, I'm not happy about, because I just think it's a good idea and the technology works amazingly well. Essentially, when he wanted to fire his weapon, he was crouched down like that. When he wanted to fire his weapon, he went like that, and that fires your gun. Now to me, it's a really cool thing to be able to do, and it's amazing that the technology can do that. However, you look like a twat standing in front of your living room TV going like that. And people walk past the window, they're going to be like, what are you doing, you nutter? So this is where I think Kinect's going to fall down, because at the end of the day, you're going to play a proper game, if you want to call them proper games or core games, hardcore, whatever you want to call them. If you're going to be sitting there for a good 8 to 10 hours, in fact you won't be sitting there for 8 to 10 hours, you've got to stand up in front of your TV and you've got to crouch, you've got to jump around and stuff. You're not going to do it. You're going to get tired and you're going to go, screw this, I want the controller back. Some people might be able to do that, but I think the majority of people ain't going to be wanting to touch that. It's not good. Then they went on to some more Kinect stuff, and this is where the show started to really dip down and go into the bowels of hell. And they were showing like crap like Disney and Sesame Street and just more Kinect Sports number 2 and Dance Central 2. That was a bit obvious, and it was just absolutely abysmal. It made me want to cry. It was just so. If I was still a hardcore Xbox guy like I used to be, then I would be so pissed off, because there's just nothing for me there at all this year. They showed Gears of War 3, Cliff comes out with Ice-T. So what? It was not, it looked exactly the same as the other two, and all it had was an epic boss battle. And it's like, that's been done to death. How many times a game's going to have a massive 60-foot boss? We've seen it all before. Give us something new, make it fresh, originate. God, I don't know. It's just beyond me as to what the point of that demo was. So that didn't interest me at all. Now, the only two things that I thought were really good at the Xbox conference, and this pretty much explains why the conference was bad. Bear with me. Basically, the first thing they announced, which everyone has been speculating for months on end now, so it was pretty obvious they were going to do it, is Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, which is Halo Combat Evolved HD, basically. Now, it looks fantastic. It's coming out in November, and I'm buying it. There's no doubt about it. I love the original game, and to have it in HD as a remake, I'm one up for that. However, they shouldn't. You've got this 360, and the best thing at your conference is a HD remake of a game that was launched with your original console 10 years ago. What the hell, man? Why aren't you bringing out new IPs? Why aren't you giving some fresh ideas? You know, giving us some really stellar games. Games that make people want to go and buy a Kinect, make people want to actually turn their Xboxes on, because mine's just sitting gathering dust at the moment. It's shockingly bad. Since Alan Wake, I haven't really touched it. And then at the end of the conference, they closed with the announcement of a new trilogy. And that trilogy is Halo again. They announced Halo 4, and obviously there's going to be a 5 and a 6. Now, I'm really looking forward to these because Halo Reach was so good. However, Bungie are not with Microsoft anymore, so I'm worried about the fact that if the team are making it, are they going to be any good? And are Bungie still going to give them a helping hand at any point, or is it a solely their project? It's worrying when you've got a company like Bungie who makes such an amazing game and then somebody takes on their project. They could ruin it. And I hope to God they don't, because Halo Reach was amazing. And I would really hate to see the Halo franchise decline after that. But yeah, me personally, guys, I thought it was an absolute shit conference. Worst one Microsoft have ever done. And possibly, in fact, no, it is the worst ever E3 conference I've had to sit through. An hour and a half I'll never get back. It was disgraceful. And they really do need to go back, sit down, have a good think about what they're doing for the future of Xbox 360 and the Xbox brand in general, because quite frankly, I don't think it's going anywhere. Kinect's a joke. Another thing that really made me laugh, they were like making a big thing about how it's a multimedia hub, which Bill Gates has wanted for a long time. And they've got this new cool dashboard, which looks nice. But they're doing things like, you know, you've got access to Bing. Well, who uses Bing? Everyone uses Google. No one gives a shit about Bing. There are people tweeting on the side of the screen saying, yeah, Bing, the most useless search engine in the world, which I thought was really funny. And, you know, they're going to offer you YouTube. Well, you can do it on PlayStation, or you can just go on your computer like everybody else. I never really see the point of putting those on consoles. Same with Facebook and Twitter. I don't see the point when you can just go on your PC or your laptop, or your phone even. It just seems a bit random to me, but whatever. So yeah, I just don't see that they've got a real clear vision of where they want to take this franchise of Xbox and consoles in general. I just don't. There don't seem to be as much emphasis on core titles anymore. It used to be Xbox was for the core player, and then they started going down the Kinect route and copying Nintendo with the motion control. So they wanted to get more casual and they want to cover all bases. Now I understand that. You know, from a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense. If you're going to make your money, you've got to cover all bases, cover all markets. Totally fine. I just think realistically you can't do what Nintendo did, whereby going after the casual market you totally ignore the people who bought your consoles in the first place and established you as a viable gaming company. So they need to think about what they're doing. Yeah, I'm really, really disappointed. You know, at the moment, as I say, I'm not a fanboy of any console. I have all three systems, 360, PS3 and Wii, and I just like good games. And for me personally, the only good games I saw at Microsoft's conference were Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary HD Remake and Halo 4. That's really bad of their conference to only have Halo as the standout titles. I know people are going to say that, you know, they've got Mass Effect 3 on there, yeah, but that's going to be on PS3. They're going to say, yeah, we've got Gears of War 3. Well, yeah, and it's just Gears of War. It's just Gears of War 3. It's nothing special. It's Gears of War again with shinier graphics and slightly probably tweaked controls and, you know, little tweaks here, little tweaks there. Cliff's not really trying. He's just trying to make some money. Yeah, that's, you know, you might say that, I don't know, what else could you say? You might say, oh, Modern Warfare 3 looks amazing. Yeah, well, that's multi-platform. You know, Don Matrix stood up on stage today and said, well, everything you're going to see now, I think it was Don, or was it Phil Spencer? It might have been Phil Spencer, actually. Either way, one of them, so I can't remember, it was about an hour ago, one of them said that you're only going to see, the next few titles will only be on Xbox, and quite frankly, nothing blew my mind. There was nothing that was like, when you look at Sony, and you got Uncharted, Infamous, Resistance, Heavy Rain, you know, I mean, I know Heavy Rain's only one game, but they will make more games like that for the PlayStation. And it's like, Sony consistently come up with really good ideas for exclusives. God of War, Ratchet and Clank. You know, they always come up with new IPs and fresh ideas. And unfortunately, Microsoft just don't seem to have a clue what they're doing. And ever since Peter Moore and Jay Allen have left Microsoft, it's just gone downhill and they need to sort Xbox out. So that's my thoughts, guys. Please give me your comments. I'm going to watch the Sony press conference in a few hours and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm interested to see how Sony are going to handle the whole hacking scandal. If they're going to just sweep it under the carpet or they're actually going to talk about it. I would assume they're going to talk about it and they should be cool with it. I'm looking forward to all of the games that we know about and all the games we don't know about, because Sony always give great press conferences and Jack Tretton's really cool to watch. And I'm interested to see the NGP as well, because I'm still not sold on it at the moment. I was really up for it when it was announced, but now I'm not too sure, because I'm kind of thinking, is it worth the money when it's just a PS3 in your hand? I don't think it is. but they might surprise me and I might come back later on and you'll see me on camera going, holy shit, the NGP, I've got to buy one. So yeah guys, I'm going to cut here and I will add the Sony bit after I've watched the conference. So thank you for watching and I'll see you in a moment. Hey guys, right, okay, so it's like just literally gone 3 AM on Tuesday morning, Tuesday 7th. I haven't been to bed yet. I was going to go to bed early. I was going to go to bed at 9 o'clock last night and get up and watch the Sony press conference at 1, but that didn't happen. I got to the point, I just thought, what's the point? I might as well just stay up and watch it. And I've just watched it and I've had to make notes because there was so much information. Really good press conference, very impressed. They started off, Jack came out and obviously addressed the whole PSN issue, and I thought, his apology was very sincere to the customers, to the third-party developers, to everyone involved with it. I thought it was really good that he did that, and of course he didn't labour the point. He made his apology and then moved on, which was the right way to do, because you don't want to just keep going on about it, because it's unfortunate that it happened, but it happened and it's been dealt with. So following that, they went on to Uncharted 3 and they showed a demo of this new level, which just looked absolutely stunning. Really impressive. It was Drake on a big cruise ship liner, and it was really amazing because the rain effects and the lighting and all the usual kind of Uncharted things looked great. But the boat was leaning left and right, and you could see that Drake was having trouble struggling to walk. And I was just wondering if that's going to come across when you play the game. Will you feel the weight as he's trying to walk? I'm assuming they're going to make it so it's difficult, but it just looked like a really nice effect, and I thought, yeah, that should be quite cool. The overall level looked fantastic. The standard for Uncharted is always right up there, graphically, the storytelling, the acting, everything. They even showed a trailer, and the trailer was just like a cinema trailer for a film. It was just unreal. It just really got me hyped, and I cannot wait to play Uncharted 3. I was looking forward to it anyway. I just can't wait even more now. It looks brilliant. Next up, they had Resistance 3, which was a 3-minute demo, and it didn't really show anything, but it was good enough demo to show you. It was just another Resistance demo. Graphically, like all PlayStation 3 exclusives, it looks amazing. That's one thing I love about PlayStation, is their exclusive games really do look the nuts. And not only they look amazing, but they also play amazing. They always get it bang on. I'm still not sure about Resistance 3 because Resistance 1 was one of my favourite titles and I love that game to bits. Resistance 2, I found it was just too hard to play. It was just, they overwhelmed you with numerous enemies constantly, and I just got incredibly frustrated. I do apologise because I've got the game trailers on there and I've just got distracted by what I think is Rage. It looks like it might be Rage. Anyway, so, but yeah, so I'm not, it is Rage, it's just come up on the screen. I'm not entirely convinced by Resistance 3 yet. We'll wait and see when it comes out. I'm going to, reserve judgment, I think. Next up, we have, let me have a look. Oh yeah, they announced the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection that's coming out. I think most people are aware of that. And then they announced something interesting, was that they're going to be bringing out, because they were talking about 3D and the price point of 3D being too high for consumers to enter the 3D world at the moment. They want to get more people into 3D. And they're bringing out a PlayStation branded television, but it's a 24-inch, which I thought was just too small myself personally. I can understand where they're going because it's a 24-inch TV, 3D TV, with a free pair of glasses. They're active glasses, which is no good because I don't like active myself, they're too expensive. And you get a copy of Resistance 3, and that comes in at $499. Now, I can see where they're going because obviously they're thinking, PlayStation, they can aim it at the younger crowd, and a 24-inch TV, if they've got it in the bedroom for teenagers and stuff, it makes perfect sense. But for adults, I think if they're going to do a PlayStation branded TV, they should do a range of TVs, different sizes, so that people like us who are older can have a PlayStation branded 3D television for a good price, cheaper than other brands of 3D TV, but at a proper size TV for your front room. That would have made more sense, but who knows, maybe if this 24-inch is successful, they might actually consider doing that, I don't know. Next up, there was a game called Medieval Moves, which was a move title, which it was okay. It didn't really knock my socks off and didn't really give me any more faith in the move because they never mentioned sorcery this year, which I'm a bit worried about because I really like to look at that last year. But yeah, Medieval Moves look alright. It's basically the same kind of thing that you always get with motion control with shields and swords and throwing, I think it was Ninja Star side Ninja discs. Yeah. You have shurikens and throwing like bow and arrows and things, firing arrows, and I'm getting really distracted by Rage because it looked gorgeous. So, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't that impressed. Then they announced a new Sly Cooper game, which is called Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. Now, I've never played Sly Cooper, so I've got no idea what the games are like, but I've heard that they're supposed to be really, really good titles. So if you're into Sly Cooper, then there's a new one coming to PS3, so that's a good thing. Then there's an exclusive first-person shooter that's been announced by a company which I can't remember the names, I forgot to write it down, based in Iceland. And the game's called, let me get it right, it's Dust 514, which looked really, really nice. It was literally a couple of seconds trailer and you don't hardly see any gameplay at all. It was just like a little bit. But it looked like a sci-fi kind of Halo-y type thing, and it looked really nice. I want to see a lot more of it yet to see what the gameplay mechanics are like, whether it does actually have anything to offer or if it's just generic, but it looked really tasty. Then they talked about Bioshock Infinite, and Ken Levine came out and he was talking about Bioshock Infinite and how he had apparently in an interview slagged off Move, and Sony had contacted him to talk about it, and they'd said to him, like, you know, let us make you a believer in Move. And they basically convinced him that motion control can work and you don't have to leave the core gamers and the DualShock, you know, the traditional controls behind. And he's saying that he's adapted Bioshock Infinite to work with Move and to actually make it a better experience. So that's going to be interesting to see if it actually works, I don't know. He also announced that they have a Bioshock title in the works for the NGP. So that'll be really, I mean, that should be pretty damn impressive to see how that works out. Next up, let me see. Oh yeah, this is a really cool announcement for me personally. They've announced that the new Star Trek movie that's coming out next year, there's a game being released to coincide with it, which I'm really excited about because I'm a massive Star Trek fan anyway, I always have been. So yeah, any Star Trek fans, that's going to be awesome. The only thing I'll say is that the trailer they showed, which seemed to show quite a lot of gameplay, it looked like a lot like Mass Effect. And I don't know if that was a deliberate thing or what, but either way it's Star Trek and it looked absolutely stunning, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that pans out. Next up, oh yeah, just quickly as well, there's so much information, it's just wow. Yeah, Star Trek game also is Move compatible, and they're going to be a Star Trek phaser. I don't know if it's an accessory that the Move sits in or it's an actual controller of the Move. I'm assuming it's an accessory, it must be an accessory. But yeah, that'd be quite cool. If you're a nerdy Star Trek fan, which I am, I love Star Trek. And then they're talking about a couple of things, a couple of games. One was Battlefield 3, and if you buy the PlayStation 3 version of Battlefield 3, on the Blu-ray disc you will also get a copy of 1943 Battlefield, or Battlefield 1943, which is good because I've never played a Battlefield game, so that would be really interesting. The new Need for Speed game from Ubisoft, which is called Need for Speed The Run, which I saw on the Ubisoft press conference earlier, and it's the first time I've ever seen a Need for Speed game, or any car game, and I've gone, I want to buy that. It looked really, really, really cool, and I'm really looking forward to trying that one out. And on the PlayStation version, you will get a separate Blu-ray disc which contains 7 extra cars, including the Bugatti Veyron. I don't know if it's really worth it just to get 7 extra cars. Those kind of extras always put me off. I always think, what's the point? But you know, it's a nice thing, it's an exclusive. And if I was going to buy the games, I probably will. It's going to be on PS3 because I prefer to buy PS3 games. You know, I only buy exclusives for Xbox really. That's my idea anyway. Next thing, they announced something called PlayStation Suite, which is a way of PlayStation products being available to people who are not involved in PlayStation consoles, handhelds, etc. They're basically aiming to put PlayStation products on Android phones and also tablets as well. So I'm assuming they mean like the iPad and that. It's basically to get people involved in PlayStation, to get them interested to hopefully buy a PlayStation 3. So that's an interesting idea. Next up, we talked about NGP, and they've officially named it now. It is definitely called the PlayStation Vita. That's VITA, Victor India Tango Alpha Vita. So yeah, apparently it means life. So PlayStation Life. It's not too bad. It could have come up with a lot worse. I don't think it's that bad a name. And what else have we got? Right, yeah, they talked about a couple of things. There's a thing called PlayStation Party, which will allow voice chat on the Vita, and the voice chat is either by a headset, or you can use the inbuilt microphone on the Vita. So I thought that was pretty damn cool to be able to do that. That's a nice touch. Then they showed some gameplays, and the first one was Uncharted, and it's going to be called Uncharted Golden Abyss. Now I've got to say, first thing of all, the PlayStation Vita, that OLED screen looked absolutely stunning. I'm seriously impressed with the quality of that screen. The picture is just unreal. And Uncharted just looks fantastic on it. They've really done a nice job on that. The controls look really good, both standard controls and all of the new touch controls and tilt controls and all the other stuff they're put into it. Very, very nice. Then they showed a game called Ruin, and Ruin is an action RPG. Now, I'm not an RPG guy, but it did look really cool. So if you're into action RPGs, go and check out Ruin. And they talked about cloud saving, which is a new feature they're going to be bringing out, which basically means, what they were saying was, in response to Ruin in particular, they were showing this, you can play Ruin on your Vita, and when you come home, you can then save your position in the game in the cloud, turn off the Vita, go onto the PlayStation 3 on your big TV, and then continue on when you left off. Now, I think that's really cool, and I'm assuming that it goes both ways, so that if you're playing on the PlayStation, and you can save the game and then take it on the Vita and take it outside, which I really like that. I think that's a nice touch, so yeah, that'd be really cool. What's next? Oh yeah, they've announced Mod Nation Racers, which is not a port, apparently it's a completely new Mod Nation Racers for the Vita. And there's a new Little Big Planet. And also a really interesting one was Street Fighter X Tekken is now going to be on the Vita as well as the PS3. And also on the PlayStation Vita, you are going to get Cole from Infamous in the Street Fighter characters, which looked absolutely stunning when they showed it. The quality of that screen is just unreal, and the game looked brilliant. I've not been really interested in it on the PlayStation 3 so far on the Xbox. I thought, I can't see the point of Street Fighter versus Tekken anyway. You know, surely it should be Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, but whatever. But I must admit, the game looks stunning on the Vita. And then the most important part of all was the price point. They announced that the PlayStation Vita will be coming to stores this holiday season in 2011, and the prices are as follows, which you'll probably know by the time you've seen this video, but anyway, I'll tell you, anyone who hasn't heard this already. If the Wi-Fi only version will be $249, and the 3G and Wi-Fi will be $299, which is an absolutely excellent price point. I mean, if that works out, obviously, as usual, they only put the price in dollars, euros and yen. They never put it in British pounds. So who knows what we're going to be paying. But if the 3DS is anything to go by, then hopefully we should only be paying around about £200 for the they call it the NGP, for the Vita. So for the Wi-Fi version, that is. So if that's the case, then that would be brilliant. I think that's really well priced. They showed a montage of games that are coming to Vita. Now, the only problem I've got with this thing at the moment is that, yeah, the technology's great and it looks like a fantastic handheld. This is what happens when you try and do videos at 3 o'clock in the morning. It looks like a great handheld. Quality of the screen is fantastic. The controls look great. It all looks really, really nicely packaged. The problem I've got is, despite the fact that the price point's bang on and it's worth the money, the games so far all seem to be games that you can experience on a PlayStation 3. I'm not seeing anything that's exclusively Vita. That's what I want to see, because I don't see any reason to buy one at this point unless they can come up with loads of titles that are exclusive to the Vita. Then it would be totally worth the money. I like the cloud saving and to be able to transfer between the two. Fantastic, but you need more handheld exclusives, because if you can just play them on the PlayStation 3, why would I want to play them on a handheld? I know you can take them outside, but I'd rather just play on the big telly. That's me. I'm not a massive handheld guy, and I don't walk around the street with my machine as much, so it would make more sense to play them on the PS3, but you know, whichever's best for yourself really. But overall, guys, I thought it's an absolutely excellent press conference. I think they did an absolutely great job. You know, they handled all the controversy they've had very well. They're very sincere. I think the lineup of software looks absolutely stunning. The Vita's coming at a good price. They seem to have a really good, you know, a good future for PlayStation, and they're going strong still. So very impressed. Much better than Microsoft's press conference. That was an abysmal, terrible conference. So yeah, I'm going to wait until the Nintendo conference, which is tomorrow night at I think 5 o'clock. Well, in fact tonight now, because it is Tuesday. So once I've watched that, I will record my views on that, and I'll post this video, and hopefully you guys can all give me your comments and see what you think as well. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I've just watched the Nintendo press conference, and this is going to be probably the strangest one. At the moment I'm sitting here very confused. I think I kind of understand it now, but I'll just go straight into it. They started off with the 25th anniversary of Zelda, and they said that Skyward Sword will be out this holiday season, which is a good thing. They then went on to the 3DS, and they wanted to talk about the games that come out for 3DS, which are Mario Kart, Star Fox, Kid Icarus, and a new game which looks absolutely stunning. I was really impressed, which was Luigi's Mansion 2. Really nice, and they said it's going to be a completely new Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. It looks beautiful, really, really impressive. There was also a trailer of some games that are coming out to 3DS, and one that caught my eye was Cave Story. I've no idea what it is, but it looks like a really nice, cool game. It looks like some kind of shooter, but I don't know. I need to do some research because it looked really nice. There's also Tekken, which I'm not a big Tekken fan, but I thought, you know, it could be quite interesting. Now, that's the first bit. Now, the main bit is obviously this new console I'm talking about. Now, I'm really lost at the moment. I'm scratching my head a bit, and I hope I'm not the only one, because I don't want to feel like an idiot, but I just feel a bit like the message didn't get put across very clearly. To me, it was very mixed. It was very unclear as to what the hell's going on, and I'm a bit confused. But I'll just tell you the facts. The new system is called Wii U. That's W-I-I-U. Really not too sure about that name, but then I was never sure about the Wii, so I'll just accept it. Now, all they showed was the controller, and it is, as was rumoured, it's a massive bloody controller with a 6.2 inch screen. Very nice. It's got 2 analogs, it's got a D-pad, it's got 4 buttons, and it looks fantastic. And the demos they showed of it were just unreal. It's so many things you can do. It's got a touch screen. It's got like a tablet idea because you've got the stylus, and you can actually draw on the screen. It comes up on your TV. You can put it on the floor when playing Wii Golf with your Wiimote, and use the Wii U controller as your tee, basically. So your ball sits on the screen, and you can see the ball on the screen. You get the Wiimote, and you go and tee off, which was just really cool. And another cool feature where you get the Wii U, aim it flat like that at the screen, and you've got Ninja Stars. And on the screen they had a demo with loads of vines, and you get the Ninja Star on the screen, and you go like that, and it fires a Ninja Star into your TV and hits the vines. It was such a cool touch. And one of the coolest features, which I love about Wii U, is that if you're playing on the game like that, playing with the controller, playing the normal game on the TV, someone comes into the room, they want to watch TV, so you've got to turn your console off. Not anymore. They turn the channel over, and it comes up on the 6.2 inch screen, and you continue to play your game. So I'm assuming that means you can just go to bed and play your game if you want to at night time. Absolutely phenomenal. I thought it was a really, really cool idea. Now, the problem I had was that the message got very mixed when I watched this presentation, because they kept saying controller, then they said console and system, then they said controller, then it was console and system. I was getting really confused. Is this a controller for the Wii, or is this a controller for a new console, or is this the new console? I was really lost. The message didn't get put across clearly to me. And a lot of the videos as well, they were showing like Wii graphics, like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and they were showing like games with those Mii's in them. And then they were showing a tech demo of this bird flying, which was all HD and looked absolutely stunning and really detailed. And I was like, well, hang on, I'm confused, because in the videos as well, they were showing a kid playing with the Wii U controller, but they had a Wii sitting in front of the TV. Now, I've got to assume that the Wii was there just for the purpose of showing that a console would be needed with the controller, and that the actual Wii U console has not been announced yet, and we don't know what it looks like. I'm assuming that's right. I hope I am, because I'm really confused. But if that's the case, apparently it's going to have HD graphics, which we all expected, so that's brilliant. Some of the games that have been announced are Tekken, Darksiders 2, Ninja Gaiden, I think it was Ninja Gaiden 3, but it's a working title, Assassin's Creed, Ghost Recon Online, so they're going for the online game as well, so they're going to improve that service, which is excellent. Batman Arkham City, Aliens Colonial Marines. There was also the new Metro first-person shooter games coming to it as well. Now I know a lot of these are all on 360 and Wii, PS3, sorry, good God, I can't even have said that. So I've got to assume that obviously got a lot more third party coming up. We've got EA involved, so people are taking it seriously. They showed a montage of developers, like people like Spielberg, people from EA, they have Ken Levine on there, does Bioshock. So they know what they're doing, they've got it right. It's just I thought the message was very confusing. I didn't really understand if it was a controller to go with the Wii, or if it's a controller for a brand new console. I'm assuming that they're going to show the console at a later date because it's so early in its life, and that they will announce the tech specs, the dates, the prices, etc. later on going down the line. Reggie Fils-Aimé, Nintendo American president, is going to be on here and doing an interview, so I'm hoping he's going to clear things up for us. But Yeah, I mean, the press conference wasn't as good as I expected. It was a bit confusing, as I say. It was a bit short as well. However, the Wii U looks really cool. I'm not going to say it's crap, and I'm not going to say it's great, because I don't know yet, and I'm going to reserve my judgment, but it looked bloody awesome from the video. And I'm really looking forward to trying it out myself and seeing how it works. And I just hope to clear up that, you know, they're talking about HD graphics, and John Riccatello from EA was talking about Battlefield 3 on the Nintendo console, so I'm assuming that that is the case, that they've just shown the controller today, and they'll show the console at a later date. And if it's capable of doing the Frostbite 2 engine, then we ain't got no worries. And I just want to see shitloads of first and third party exclusives now, just to really confirm that this console is worth getting. But yeah, I'm really, really interested. Let's put it this way, Nintendo always do this. They give you a little bit of information and it just gets you talking and starts debates, and it's just got me interested. I really want to know more now. I'm fascinated. The technology is just so cool. And what the potential, I'm just so like, the potential for what they can do with that controller, I can't wait. I think even if they don't have that many exclusives on launch and they don't have many games that are brand new and fresh, I think it's worth getting one just because in the future they will, and that controller is just going to be unreal. And the fact that you can use it for like Wii style games as well, it's really cool. They were talking about depth, and I can't think what the other one was. I think it was deeper experiences and wider experiences to make games more open to everybody, casual, hardcore and beyond, to really try and expand the gaming family. And I'm really, really impressed. I'm intrigued more than anything to see what they're going to do and what the console specs are and how they're going to integrate this controller with games. And yeah, it's such early days. I'm really fascinated, and you know, if like me, you were a little confused by the message that was given on this press conference, please let me know, because I want to know if I'm alone or not. I was just a bit lost. Never usually happens, but it confused me. So yeah, so I've seen all three now, and I'm going to give my verdict. I'm going to rate all of them, and I would say Microsoft is an F. I think they failed miserably. They did an absolutely terrible press conference. The software lineup was crap. Connect was a joke. They still haven't come up with anything that's worthwhile for proper gamers, and they haven't given me a reason to buy one, which is a shame because I was hoping they would, but they haven't. I think Sony get an A, without a doubt. I think they handled all the controversy brilliantly, very professionally. You know, I really appreciate that I did that. I thought the software lineup with Uncharted, Resistance, and all of the other great games, the new Sly Cooper game, and then they've got the PlayStation Vita. I mean, they've just got it nailed. They've got a really nice, strong lineup, great press conference. Nintendo, I'm going to give a B+. I want to give them an A, but I'm still not entirely sure what the hell's going on with this Wii U thing. So, as amazed as I am, I'm intrigued. I want to see more. I want to find out more and find out what it's all about. It's just seriously cool. So, I'm going to give him a B+ at this moment, but I think it's going to end up being like an A and A+ once I know more about the new console and the games that are being developed. And yeah, it's an exciting time for gaming. I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. It's awesome. So thank you for watching, guys. I look forward to all your comments below, and anyone who's watching E3, I hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. The games are just stunning. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.